For us human beings, the future, inevitable, means growing old and exchange our health for wrinkles. But some creatures of the earth can resist the aging to an extent unbelievable, with others escaping completely of the phenomenon. We can learn a lot from life forms oldest on earth because they can guard the secrets of immortality, since 500-year-old sharks to anomalies resurrected from millions of years of age. Let's take a look at some ancient creatures that reveal clues for the secret of immortality. Number 10. Cold-blooded elderly people, often described as if the Tuatara were alive only, can be found on the islands of Nova Zealand. Your nickname is not just a bad joke you tied to Saint. True fossils capable of living until 200 years, having roamed the earth since 225 million years ago. Their survival and longevity, in part if due to its resistant nature, and can withstand a wider range of temperature than most other species of lizards. Additionally, have a metabolism exceptionally slow and prefer a calm pace of life. It can take up to 40 years to reach the maximum size, usually around 6.5 centimeters, and does not reach sexual maturity up to 20 years of age. But despite arrived late, the evidence suggests who remain sexually active until the end of their lives. Good afternoon. In captivity, called Harry, demonstrated that he continues to have loving capabilities when he became the father at 111 years old. This happened after almost 40 years without demonstrating interest in females. So remember, guys, it's never too late. Just channels your inner treaty. Number 9. Antiques with legs on top of. Ranking of the most terrestrial animals. Ancient of the earth is the turtle. Giant Aldabra, found on the islands from Atoll Aldabra in the Indian Ocean. To age and longevity of these reptiles wrinkled are embodied by Jonathan the turtle, which currently has about 187 years old. He was born in 1832, before creation of car, antiseptics, or even the telegraph. But despite being the oldest Aldabra tortoise in life, Jonathan is a boy compared to the members of your species already registered, and who lived for more than 200 years. It is estimated that Crazy had 250 when he died in 2006, although their ages are difficult to confirm accurately, since human beings die before they do. It's almost sure that Jonathan is the vertebrate oldest land on the planet. Research suggests that its longevity is facilitated by a combination of very slow metabolism and genetics. Impressive, their unique bodies are capable of repairing DNA and combating cancer and inflammation in ways remarkable that science has not yet understood completely. But with the studies on Jonathan and the Dueta, maybe the secrets of immortality are in somewhere between the tropical climate and the beautiful beaches. Number 8. Centuries-old whale. Bowhead whale calls this huge species can reach up to 18 meters and weigh up to 100 tons, eating up to 2 tons of food a day. We can say she eats like a bodybuilder, preparing for a championship. But not is there another way this mammal needs overeat, as they are found in icy plastic waters and withstand temperatures, have the thicker layer of fat. Any marine mammal up to 50 centimeters thick, but your diet is far to be the most important fact about them, because these creatures can live longer than 200 years, of being the longest lived mammal of all the earth. His extreme longevity, thanks to its super genetics optimized that allows cells are repaired and replaced with a maximum efficiency, but the replacement of much less cells are needed than us human beings, because the environment's codes end up making your cells receive much less wear than, while maybe your roommate has. The reason when you insist on turning on the air conditioning. Number 7. Elderly hedgehogs. This frightening organism full of thorns is found in shallow waters of the Pacific Ocean. You probably already saw or stepped on their black cousins who cause an unpleasant sting and are present on beaches all over the world. Red variety grows little by little and be approximately 18 centimeters in diameter. The red sea urchin may have more 200 years old with a decline in ability to heal or reproduce. Fact, the red sea urchin is capable of reproduce well beyond their age. That we usually stop this. Studies show that a sea urchin, 100-year-old red, is so capable of reproducing as the other 10 years of age. In fact, how much more old ones get, more are produced. Sperm and eggs, the exact mechanisms. This ability to prevent the decline of health with age are not yet understood very well, but if discovered would have profound implications. The absence of a mechanism for aging in the red hedgehog challenges all accepted theories about how aging occurs. While we could cover ourselves with spikes all over the body if it works for them, because it wouldn't work with the people. Number 6. Slow swimmers. In cold waters of the North Atlantic Ocean and Arctic lives the oldest vertebrate in the world. Earth up to 6.4 meters long and weighing more than a ton. The shark of Greenland is an apex predator in their habitat, eating everything from fish to polar bears. The lack of predators and, even more important, your body, incredibly well adapted, allow these creatures live for 200 to 500 years or more, counting the time. The shark of Greenland is in no hurry for anything of yours. Average speed is approximately 0.3 meters per second, and your heart only beats once every 12 seconds. Cold water, in which it is associated to very low intensity metabolism, causes your cells to deteriorate to a much slower rate than ours. Scientists imagine that this is central to your longevity. Interestingly, most sharks in Greenland is blind thanks to parasite called Sepepilus that cling to the cornea of these sharks. Must be why that they swim as slowly as they are. Blind people don't want to bump into anything or cause accidents. Number 5. With the rogue de Iceland. The mussels of the Islamic Arctic species present in the Icelandic Ocean are known for their slow growth, but scientists were impressed by discover a shell of the species in 2013. In the same way that the rings of trees represent your age, scientists can do the same with the mollusks, calculating that this issue was no less than 507 years old. Unfortunately, when researchers they opened clam, they killed the oldest specimen of the genus, known to man as much of oldest species on Earth. Scientists believe that the secret of longevity like this with Holly be yours. Very slow metabolism. Imagine that. Just live a quiet life on the water. Near the edge of the ocean, enters the sand. Feeds on any animal that is passing by, and that's it. Notice some pattern. Here the secret of long life seems to be a stress-free lifestyle. Close to the water and with food arriving always up to you, and then let's spend a weekend in Bahamas. Number 4. Water. Immortal, living for special creatures too. Life is not a beginning and end line, but yes, a circle of living water. Scientifically known as sleeping tower tops, have an incredible ability to reverse your aging, making her an animal biologically immortal as an adult is injured or faces such hunger. Tiny creature redistributes functions of your cells by inducing a transformation that could make the Incredible Hulk get embarrassed. Slowly she returns to her state of childhood, losing its tentacles and decreasing in size, and incredible thing from here she creates several genetically identical clones through asexual reproduction, and circle of life of the living water continues is. Of course it can still be eaten by predators, so it's not that she is completely immortal is what is good for us, because the world full of living waters, invincible and self-replicating, would not appear very fun. Number 3. The longest nap in the world. When scientists discovered the ancient salt crystals in Death Valley, California in 2011, were surprised by the bacteria that found prey. Inside you will usually find bacteria in the soil, wouldn't be a big deal. But these cells were trapped there for 34,000 years ago. Bacteria lived in tiny chambers filled with fluid inside the salt crystals, becoming most of the last 34 millennia in hibernation state. To achieve survive, they have shrunk in size, stopped moving and excreting, and most of other functions. Scientists still are confused about how bacteria manage to prevent the degradation of their DNA for such a long period of time. Said this to presence of algal cells in their tiny suggests that bacteria can have revived intermittently to feed your own system. Microscopic, but wake up a creature old of your sleep is not a task. Quickly these microbes took 2 months to wake up from the blessing 34,000 years of sleeping. My neck is now aching. Number 2. Coming back to life. If the self-preservation in salt crystals know it seems so interesting to you, why not try to stay frozen in sub-zero temperatures for a while? This worked for members of 2 known species of worms, microscopic to panagroscopic, tritophages and leptosparvos. These species are rarely larger than a grain of sand and got stuck in the frozen ground of Siberia for thousands years before its discovery in 2018, when thought they were soon eating a well-deserved meal, the first in 42,000 years. And I'm here complaining because I skipped breakfast. Like organisms, multicellular devices like this can survive cryobiosis or freezing of your cells. Therefore, time remains a mystery, though the implications for human preservation still have enormous potential, as what we learn most for now is just something confusing before we arrived to the oldest living being in our little one blue planet. It's time to do some mentions or roses first. That's the Texas turtle, which apparently is one of the oldest in the world, although a algal coating is common in the case of many species of turtles. This excessive amount suggests an illness or very old age. However, the bright blue eyes full of turtle cataracts already give us the hint that this is the first option. After all, sea turtles are known to live up to 200 years, so it's natural for her to have a look so old. Next is the hydra, the tiny organism found in fresh water around the world. Thanks to most of the body is made up of stem cells, the hydra is capable of regenerate your body in case of injuries. An offshoot of this incredible skill is that it doesn't seem grow old, becoming like water, live immortal with a longevity potentially infinite in captivity, free from predators. Scientists believe that the hydra is capable of living and indefinitely, which is impressive, even for its mythical namesake. Number 1. Yeast from millions of years history. I still live to go back to the times when Australia had just separated from Antarctica and modern mammals were just beginning to appear in sometime during this period known as Eocene epoch, a microscopic fungus related to biological yeast that we know today was hit by a misfortune. The resin of a tree next encapsulated the fungus, forming a amber around you. Amazing. 45 millions of years have passed when we 90s microbiologist Raul Cano Opened the amber for an experiment later. Rigorously sterilized to avoid contamination by modern microbes. He froze the amber in nitrogen liquid and broke it into fragments, and he distributed it on stone tablets. He was impressed to see that the fungus came back to life and began to eat and reproduce. At this moment, the fungus of 45 million years became the oldest living being known on Earth, thanks to a special ability some creatures, how fungi are able to enter a state of hibernation without eating or drink apparently for time indeterminate, and can return to life when conditions become more adequate. But the most surprising of everything is that yeast was used later by a brewery that created a drink with an oldest fungus in the world. Yes, it's true, now you can buy Phosphorus Company beer made with 45 million year old yeast. Forget the Jurassic Park, that's science, and there you are feeling young, excited about these possibilities of discovering the tell us the secret of immortality here in the comments. Thanks for watch and see you next time.